Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet. It's Monday. It is the kickoff. It is the start. It is the time to be alive. It is time to shake off the rust or relaxation of the weekend and get into the grind. My goodness, do we have something to celebrate today? Not just the fact that we've got breath in our lungs and a beat in our heart and a chance to go craft our life by design out there in the field of business. We also have to celebrate the number one team in college baseball right now. The LSU Tigers taking home the Natty, taking home the ship, taking home the Men's College World Series championship. Way to go, the LSU Tigers. And today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, Coach Kyle Evans coming at you from the Bayou State itself, getting to share with you a special episode of Grow today. One that who knows if we'll ever be able to do something like this again because it's such a special moment. We're going to talk about championship mentality, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about training for a title. We're going to talk about what LSU taught us about winning when it's hard, because I don't know if your world is like mine, but it ain't sunshine and rainbows, boys and girls. It's not fairies and pixie dust and unicorn farts. It's the real world out there. It's tough sometimes. Life is hard. Get a helmet. So we're going to look into this and we're going to take some of these key factors away. This is my ode, my tip of the cap to LSU and the Natty, and how we can apply some of those lessons to our life right now. How can we apply some of these lessons to not just our personal life, but our business, our organization, our career, our sales team? Because here's the truth, guys, winning isn't always loud. Sometimes, in fact, more often than not, it looks like losing early. It looks like struggling mid-season. It looks like people counting you out while you're still writing the script. Unfortunately, that happens more often than not, because winning can look like people counting you out and you're still there writing. You're still there plugging away every single day. Guys, today, LSU, the Fighting Tigers, they're holding the trophy. But what I want to talk to you about is how they earn the right to even still be in the fight, and how you can apply this to your own world. You don't have to be a baseball fan to learn from this. You'll even have to like LSU to learn from this. Because what they went through this season, that's literally what every entrepreneur, every sales team, every underdog leader is going through. They're trying to find rhythm. So let's break down the journey here and how it applies to us. This is the Grow Show, right? We talk about guiding, refining, ownership, and wealth. Today, we're going to do the championship mentality, G.R.O.W. Number one is the G. It goes grind, guys. The grind is the truth behind the glory. You see, unfortunately, LSU didn't steamroll their way to the title. They were ranked highly, but talent is not a shield. And I think more often than not, we need to understand that as entrepreneurs. Talent is not a shield. You see, midway through the SEC play, we dropped 6 out of 8 games. 6 out of 8 games. We limped into May with questions. Questions like, is the bullpen deep enough? Is our team mentally tough enough? Are we who everyone expected us to be? Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? It's the season in business where your early wins start to unravel. Maybe you're in the season of business when those 2021 wins start to unravel. When people whisper that maybe this just isn't your year. Maybe this just isn't your career. But the good news is they didn't bail. They didn't blame. They adjusted. And that's my hope. That's my wish for you today. Don't blame. Don't bail. Adjust. You see, the grind isn't proof you're failing. It's proof you're growing. Write this down, tattoo it on your brain. Adversity is often disguised as your qualifying rounds. Adversity is often disguised as your qualifying rounds. That's the G, ladies and gentlemen, the grind. We have to get into the fire. We have to find out who we really are. We have to get tired. We have to get beaten. We have to lose and then take that gut check, look in the mirror and say, am I someone who is going to adjust? Am I going to let this define me or am I going to change? Am I going to grow? Am I going to put in the work when no one's looking? That takes us to the R, resilience. We've got to learn to bend without breaking. You see, the Tigers, when they lost a game in their own regional, their own, people panicked. That's what we do, right? We treat one bad inning, one bad game, one loss like a bad identity. Agents out there, we treat one bad contract, one broken deal, one bad review, one missed opportunity like a bad identity. We start to question ourselves. Hey, is this even worth it? Am I doing the right thing? Am I even good at this? If I had $1, every time agents would tell me that, they would let their identity be shaped and shifted by one loss, I wouldn't be here with you guys. I would be living in a cabin on a mountain that I owned because I would be so rich. That's how often you guys do this. But you see, when they lost in their own backyard, in the beginning of the playoff championship run, they did something most teams don't. They didn't let the moment define their mission. They regrouped. And slowly, quietly, they started winning again. They didn't go viral. They got better. Isn't that how most of our wins actually happen? If you really thought about it, if you took a second to really think and reflect on the wins in your personal life, your spiritual life, your wealth, your business, it's usually not loud. You see, the Tigers, like us, a lot of times those wins and that forward momentum, it starts happening in silence, in the locker room, in the morning workouts, in the conversations you say to yourself and others. Let's reset. We're still in this. I still got gas in the tank. Growth isn't always epic. In fact, more often than not, it's not. Most of the time, it's boring, it's brutal, and it's behind closed doors. And it's a gift. More often than not, we don't treat that growth that is boring like the gift that it is, the brutality of this business, the fact that more often than not, we're winning when no one's cheering. That's the resiliency, the R that we all need. Moving into O, still sticking with ownership. Guys, what is your role? What is your clarity under pressure? Here's what I love. This team, they didn't wish for someone to step up. They knew who they were. And when it mattered, we had a sophomore who had Tommy John surgery come in and close the championship game, throwing Benjamin, throwing smoke, throwing cheddar, throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. Why? Because he knew his role. He owned the pressure instead of resisting it. Are we owning the pressure? Are we knowing who we are? Are we owning our role in this? That's what most teams, most businesses miss. They think that pressure is proof that they're failing. But pressure is actually the privilege of clarity. I'm not talking at you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking with you this morning. Pressure says you know the stakes, you know your job, now go do it. Having faith. Confidence doesn't come from hype, it comes from clarity. It comes from knowing exactly who you are when the game is on the line. And to understand that clarity, we have to go through the resilience. We have to go through the grind. We have to go through the W of grow, work. We have to train beyond talent. We have to train beyond our natural gifts. LSU is talented, yes, but that's not why they won. They won because they trained harder than the problem. Let me say that again to you guys, because I think you need to hear this for your business. They trained harder than the problem. I can't get some of you guys to practice and role play 15 minutes a week. Are you training harder than the problem? They practice situational pressure. They conditioned to close. They learned how to lose. Too many people want to skip the reps. Too many entrepreneurs want to skip the work. They want the results without the rituals. You want the results without the rituals. Most people want the prize. They don't want to pay the price. But championship culture doesn't come from the podium. It's built in the weight room. It's built in the batting cage. It's built in the late nights that no one sees. Everyone sees you at the closing table. Nobody sees how much time you spent learning the contracts, practicing your consultations, learning what to say and how to say it, building your knowledge, your skill set, honing your tonality. Here's the truth. The work that wins the game usually happens long before the scoreboard is even on. Put that on a t-shirt. The work that wins the game, that wins the deal, that wins the day usually happens long before the scoreboard, long before the lights, long before the consultation even happens. I don't want you to train for ease. I want you to train for adversity. Champions are built before the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. You are built to win before the game starts. Are we playing like that? Are we showing up like that this Monday morning? You can tell I've had my coffee and my Wheaties because we got stuff to do today, people. Are we going to grind? Are we going to be resilient? Are we going to own our role? And are we going to do the work? The choice is ours. Because the truth is, most people don't want to see you win. They want to see you do well, but they don't want to see you win because they have to then ask themselves why they didn't do the work, why they didn't own the role, why they didn't grind, why they weren't resilient. Is that going to be you? You know, I heard something the other day, and it was talking about the difference that people mistake from going in grades, right? Grades in school from C to B's, and they think it's the same as going from B's to A's. It's not even close. You see, C to B, that's good. That takes a certain amount of effort, yes. But for moving from B to A, to move from good to great, more often than not, that might take studying at night. That might take getting a tutor. That might take reading extra work. That might take working on yourself when no one's looking. That might take doing so much and you're so tired, but you're moving in that direction. How many of us are settling for a B business because we don't want to put in the A effort? Today isn't really about LSU. It's about you. It's not about Omaha. It's about your office. It's about your season. Maybe it's messy. Maybe it's stalled. Maybe it's doubted, but you're still in the fight. The fact that you have eyeballs looking at this device today, hearing this, says that you're still in the fight. And if you stay in it, if you take ownership, if you reset your mindset, if you recommit to your role, you'll find yourself right where they did, at the top. Not because you got lucky, but because you got gritty. Because you got gritty. Because you decided. Because you made a choice. This week, I want you to train like the Tigers did. I want you to get honest about the adversity that you're in. Don't sugarcoat it. Say it out loud. And then say something like this: I'm still showing up anyway. I want you to reframe setbacks as reps. I want you to find one loss this month. Write it down. Write what it taught you. If you don't have any losses, you ain't looking hard enough, because I got plenty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I want you to own your role, whether it's in your business, whether it's on your team. What is your job? What is your job that you are going to work to master, that you are going to show up like a champion, that you are going to show up like when the game is on the line, you're one to be counted on? What is your job? Say it clearly, say it confidently, and say that you're committed to it. I don't want to talk about goals, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about commitments. What are you committed to? What are you committed to this Monday morning? Then I want you to work the problem. Don't wait to feel motivated. You'll be waiting forever. Pick one training discipline and go deep this week. Is it listings? Is it listing consultations? Is it FISBOs, expires, withdrawals? Your database that you're not talking to that you say that you are? I want you to go deep on it mentally, physically, tactically, emotionally. Go deep. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, champions aren't the ones who win easy games. They're the ones who win any game because they trained for it. They were ready for it. When opportunity knocked, they said, hey, I got my lunchbox. I got my hammer. Let's go get it. Do you got your lunchbox and hammer today? I don't even know why that makes sense, but it felt right. Guys, you may not be at the College World Series, but you are in the fight of your life. There's not a trophy with your name on it at the end, but there is the feeling. There is the satisfaction. There is the knowing that you chose difficult and did it. That is a feeling that I hope, deeply hope that each and every single one of you can feel in this business and in this life. There are no trophies, ladies and gentlemen, but we're showing up anyway because we got work to do. We got places to go. We got lives to build. This is the G.R.O.W. Show. I'm Kyle Evans, and I got news for you and everybody watching. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. We still got fight. We still got time. We still got opportunity. And I'm showing up like a champion today. And I trust that you and 200,000 of my closest friends inside of the Keller Williams ecosystem are coming with me. Let's go get some. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Go Tigers.